Ladies and gentlemen, seekers of truth and knowledge, welcome to an experience that will take you on a captivating journey beyond our world. Today we have a special treat for you as we sit down with the renowned Andromedan contactee, Alex Collier. Prepare yourself for a rapid-fire question and answer session that delves into the depths of cosmic wisdom and unveils the mysteries of the universe. As always, please remember to like this video and share it with your friends and family. That way, it gets seen by more truth seekers. Also, remember Alex hosts a live webinar 3 times a month on a Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, so be sure to visit the link in the description for more information. But for now, here are today's rapid-fire questions and answers.
I am hearing some truthers say that the chemtrails are no longer harmful, but are beneficial now. Do you know if that's true? Here in New Mexico, we get them almost daily, and it's blocking out the sun partially. If the reason for this is not nefarious, what would be the beneficial effect?
That's a good question. I've heard the same. Here in the Denver area, I get up in the morning and I'll take Merlin for a walk, and it is just absolutely breathtaking. The bluest skies you can imagine, with the snow-capped mountains. I'll come in, I'll do some work, I'll do some chores around the house, I'll go back out 2.5 hours, and the sky is a checkerboard of chemtrails. It's so disgusting. I've heard that it's all good stuff. I confess to go both ways with that. But after hearing Jane's story yesterday, I am encouraged that it's more than likely that they are repairing the atmosphere. And that whatever the chemtrails are, whatever is in this stuff, is not only beneficial for humanity, for our physiology, but also for nature. But it could also be that it is neutralizing all the nanoparticles that they put up in the atmosphere to change the DNA of all living things on this planet. The level of attack on us is something that's going to be difficult for a lot of people to fathom. Because, 90% of us just don't think this dark. We just don't think this dark. We're just like, how can that be? How could anyone think that way, get out of the airplane, and then go home to their family, knowing that their children and their wives are breathing the same shit? But they do it. They do it for the money. They do it for the power. It's bonkers. It's upside down, frankly. It's all upside down.
You previously discussed that Tesla's soul was found underground by the A's. Can you explain how they could tell it was Tesla's soul?
The individual being that you know as Nikola Tesla had other lifetimes. He had other lifetimes before he got to Earth. None of our souls were born and hatched on this planet. And I've been saying this for years. They know by the resonance of the soul who you are. My first encounter with the A's, I was laid on a table and they put a little harmonica disc. It looked like a yarmulke, except it was metallic and it had a hole in the center. They put it on my head. These monitors came out of the walls magically came out of these walls, and I started seeing all these different scenes. And they were all different lifetimes, different physicalities, and I knew they were me. I absolutely knew they were me. I knew that what I was looking at on both sides was me in different lifetimes. And I'm just a kid, I'm 8 years old, but I know this because I recognized it. My soul recognized me. And there's no way you could tell me any different. So I knew. Well, it's no different with Nikola Tesla as it would be with JFK or Martin Luther King, uh, Madame Curie. It would be no different with any of them. The apostles, it would be no different. All right? As souls, we have all had other lifetimes in other realms. The journey is to fall out of timelessness into time and physicality and to make our way back home to Creator with all of our different experiences and knowledge so that we contribute to the entire knowingness of God. That's the journey. Okay? It's not about the new navigator. Those are all tools and rewards that we give ourselves. But on a soul level, you don't take any of that shit with you. Ever. No matter where you are, no matter what physicality, no matter what dimension, whatever material things you gather, and there is a material physicality on every dimension, whatever it is that you acquire on those realms, when you leave that physical form to exchange for another, what you had is gone. You maintain the knowledge and the awareness that you are. That's what you take with you. Okay, no one's pulling up to heaven or God with a U-Haul with all your shit in the back. No one does that. Okay? What you have is your experiences, your level of integrity, and the knowledge and the wisdom that you have acquired by making mistakes. Yeah. And some of us could use a U-Haul to haul our mistakes with us. But fortunately, we don't have to do that.
Hello, Alex. Thank you for what you do. Can you please talk in more details about the 3 days of darkness event, and when would that estimate to happen? I understand we may not be able to move and it will be cold.
I don't know. I don't know when that's going to happen. And the reason I pointed the video to you, because the information in the video is logical. It makes sense. But I myself, I've not been through it. So, like you, I'm worrying about the same things. And the A's don't give me everything. They don't give me all my answers. In fact, if it has anything to do with me, I don't even ask those questions anymore because I already know the answers after, being in their presence for 56 years now, 50, 56, 54 years. I already know the answer. I have better luck finding information about you than I would about me. Because their response is, well, this is your journey. This is your journey. So I don't even go there. I thought it was relevant. I thought it made sense. And in the realm of possibility, it's relevant. It's very relevant. Is it going to happen like that? I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. And as I've said before, their fifth density, I can tell you things about fifth, which I've been sharing with you for the last 30 something years about fifth density, but I've not experienced fourth. So this part of the journey is new for me as well. And I can tell you the information that they're giving me about how to prepare myself is slim to none. Slim to none. And that's because I have to experience this. That's my jump. That's my learning curve. Okay, is to go from third to fourth. And if I can do that successfully, well, then I get to go home to fifth. So that's where my focus is getting this part of it right. Because I can do the other part. I can do higher fourth to fifth. I know what's fifth's there. I have some experience with it. So, in many ways, some of you are going to be my teachers moving through fourth. I'm just hoping to show you the possibilities of that it's all real, that we're there, we're doing this, and the things to look out for.
Can you please discuss souls reunited with their soul families or lineages in this incarnation? You mentioned that in the future, as we shift from 4 to 5D, some souls will be potentially moving on to other places, dimensions, etc. I have dreams and visions of multiple versions of this eventuality within this current life for many, many people. Would you kindly share your perspective in more detail?
Oh, my perspective is probably um, a, a little different in the fact that I'm already experiencing in one particular form um, re-engaging and reuniting with my soul group. I've already experienced that. They just happen to be extraterrestrial. But I've met some people here that are part of my soul group who, like me, didn't read the fine print on their contract and came to Earth thinking this might be a really good idea. Okay. And, we've shared those stories with each other. And, but, here in our physical realm, when you meet people that you just know, you have an instant connection. And the conversation is not just easy, it's absolutely effortlessly brilliant, and you connect on so many different things. And typically, those people are people that are in your life for a period of time, if not your whole life. But, some people will be in your soul group, but they'll pass and they'll move and, they'll go on to other things because, they're also on their own soul journey. But what they've done is they've connected with you, you've connected with them. And what that is that creates a link between their life and your life. And I know we don't look at it that way because, we look at physicality is when we've lost somebody in our lives, whether they've crossed over or they've moved on to someone and we've lost touch with them. We see that as a loss. when in reality it's more of we should have more of an appreciation for the fact that they were even in our lives for whatever amount of time that we had them, because they've enriched it, or they've altered it, or they brought new perspective or a completely different experience. Even the negative experiences have caused us to grow, to move forward, as hard as that might be to fathom. And it's not something we appreciate until we move through the process called forgiveness. And then at some point, after you've had the forgiveness and you've genuinely forgiven and let it go, that those perspectives come forward at some future date. And we realize that you're in the place you're in now because of those experiences and because you went through the process of forgiveness. And forgiveness is an amazing elevator to higher consciousness. It moves you very quickly to another frequency because you're not holding on to stuff. You're not stuck. You're letting it go.
Dear Alex, James, JP, and friends, is the apple of Eden the AI device that seeded the artificial technology on Earth, infecting and infiltrating everything of lower vibration? Could it be that it's kept under the protected monastic community of Mount Athos in Greece? Thank you for everything you do. Much love to all from love.
Wow, that's a very interesting question. There's a very interesting perspective on the apple from the Garden of Eden in the Assassin's Creed movie. And I know of that because I have boys who play video games. And in that particular movie and or video game, I don't do the video games, the apple contained the map of removing free will from humanity, about how to do it. Now, I don't know if that's relevant or not, or if it's true. I do know that most of the Bible is an analogy. It's all symbology. And I'm also aware of the fact that most of the books were compiled and put together first by the Caesars of Rome and then later the popes of Rome. And I know my perspective on that's different than a lot of others. What I don't understand is, why would it be a sin to want to understand the tree of knowledge? Is it because it represents duality? You see, I have issues with the whole story. And I have issues with that because there is a level of duality on all the dimensions, all the way up to 6 density. What would be the purpose of the duality if we were never meant to know it? Why even bother to create it? You see, that's an entirely different philosophical conversation to have. I simply do not know how true any of that is. I simply don't know. And if I did know, I don't know that I would even talk about it um, after what I experienced after doing talking about Jesus, the biblical Jesus, being a composite character. That was some rough terrain there. That was very, very rough terrain. How dare I? Um, so I'm going to leave that alone. Other than what I've just said, I don't know how true any of that is. I simply don't. But if we were not meant to know it about the duality of the universe, about its existence, why dangle it in front of us? Why even create it at all?
Are you aware of an advanced civilization that may have existed in the American Southwest called the Wingmakers?
I am. Let me get to that for in a sec. Listen, I'm just seeing something on a chat. God didn't want Eve to merge with AI. You're assuming that that is AI. That's a massive assumption when the reality is we don't know. We simply don't know. 90% of our history has been completely erased from us. Please remain cognizant of that. 90% of Earth's history has been completely removed from our knowledge base. The biggest is who we truly are. Okay, now getting back to the Wingmakers. I knew of it in the early 2000s, and I followed it for a period of time, and then it just kind of stopped. It just kind of stopped. And there were all kinds of rumors swirling around it, and but is it possible that these troves of information, these records are stored on the earth? Well, it's obvious that they have been, and they are. It's obvious. Michael Sala, his Space Force contact JP, Elena Danan, and others out there. Um, Marcella, I can't remember her last name. She's a contactee with a group from the Andromedan galaxy. She lives here in Colorado in Aspen. She goes to these places and opens up energy gates to allow for those things to be discovered, uh, to be found. She's a remarkable person. And there are other people who do this they travel all over the planet, unsung heroes that are doing this type of work so that we can find this knowledge, this information that's been hidden from us. Um, remove the spells of invisibility so that we find it or someone finds it. Wingmakers is just such a thing. It's just such a thing. At some point we will know about those crystal discs or records or whatever they call those. The crystalline discs with the knowledge on it, the information. If it's real, I'm sure it'll all come out at some point. We will know our history. We will also know galactic history. That information is coming. We just need to get to a certain place where we can comprehend it. Now we would be lost 5 minutes into the information. The majority of humanity would be lost. The eyes would glaze over. Huh? There would be no comprehension beyond the first few minutes of the information because most people are just simply not open to it. Their view of who they are and life on planet Earth is this. It's this big. That's it. That's all they'll see is what's inside my two hands, if that.
Hi, Alex. You previously mentioned that our reality situation, quote, is a movie, unquote. Can you explain what you mean by that?
Well, it's a holograph. And what's a holograph? It's a projection. It is a projection of reality that we create a physical reality. Now, we are physical bodies, but our souls are not. Okay? And our soul is multidimensional. So our soul, that part which is isness, that is creator, that's great spirit, Allah, whatever word you want to use, that part is projecting the experiences that you have in the physical form. The only reason we have a physical body in third density or fourth or fifth is so that we can participate in the creation of physicality and to experience physicality. Before we all came into this universe, we were spirit. We were somewhere else. You see, there was no movie, there was no story. There was no story. We weren't weaving a reality or a story at all. Once this universe was created and we came in as souls, and the physical dimensional realms were created in which we could participate in physically, move into, and begin to create physical reality, then we began to weave a story, a reality. Okay, we became weavers of our own tales, our own stories. And that's all part of learning and taking responsibility for the things that we create. And what's interesting is that through that process, we all learn a great deal of spiritual growth. Now, some of us were novice souls who did not have a lot of experience in physicality. Others of us were hardcore weavers of reality. Some were angelic. Some were other things. So when I say we're weavers, what we're participating in is a movie. The reason I preface it that way is that if you can look at your life as a movie and you actually grasp that idea, then what you realize is that you're not only the actor of the movie, you've also written the script, you're also the director, and you're also the producer of your life story. You're the one writing your own story. We all are. Whether it's third, fourth, fifth, sixth, Mornay's the weaver of his story. And he knows it. He knows it. They all do. But then again, they come in lifetime after lifetime, and they don't have the blind of who they were the lifetime before. They have full cognizant memory of who they were, so their story continues lifetime after lifetime. We haven't had that benefit. We have not had that benefit. Which makes it difficult. I mean, how many times do you have to learn a bicycle? To ride a bike? How many times do you have to learn how to swim? Right? Every lifetime we have to learn how to swim? Shit, that gets old, And we're like hamsters. And they've treated us like hamsters. We keep having to do it over and over and over again. So that's why I expressed it that way. With my kids, I give them stuff and then I wait to see how they process it, as opposed to just telling them, there it is. Most of the time they're like, yeah, right, Dad. You don't get it, Dad. Oh, okay. I don't get it. And, we're all there. We all have kids that are, at least one who's like that. Sometimes two, sometimes four, at least for a period of time, and then all of a sudden, the switches start to click and they start to put things together and you're like, wow, they actually heard me. For a while there, I was saying, put your finger in your ear, and then I would tell them a piece of knowledge or wisdom, and they're like, why is my finger in my ear? I'm like, because I want it to bounce around before it goes out the other side. So a few brain cells heard what I said as it was passing through. But hey, we do the best we can.
There you have it, fellow truth seekers. An enlightening and exhilarating rapid-fire question and answer session with the remarkable Alex Collier, sharing his profound encounters with the benevolent Andromedan extraterrestrial beings. As we continue our cosmic journey, let us embrace the wisdom of the Andromedans and carry their message of love, unity, and compassion with us. Together, we can create a world where humanity stands united, ready to embrace the wonders that await us in the vast expanse of the universe. If you found this rapid-fire question and answer session fascinating, hit that like button and share this video with your friends and family. Subscribe to our channel and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on more captivating content like this. Thank you for joining us on this incredible adventure. Until next time, may the stars guide you on your path of enlightenment and exploration. And remember to always seek knowledge and stay curious. If you want to get the latest information from Alex Collier, we host a live webinar 3 times a month on a Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. For more information and dates of upcoming live webinars, please visit alexcollier.org. Please click on one of the above videos to seek more of Alex Collier's knowledge.